ever noticed that during the months of January and February, there's all sorts of information that we find on TV, on social media, through all sorts of commercials, inviting us to clean, purge, reorganize our home. In fact, all the sales begin to get geared around how are you going to organize your home? How are you going to keep everything clean, tidy, put together, Marie Kondo your whole entire life so that you feel like you're in control, you're minimalized, you know exactly what you have, and everything has that kind of clean, aesthetic, free of germs, free of bacteria, free of clutter feeling to it. Well, I love all the things that try to help us get our houses organized, keep our homes organized. But if you're like me, you like the thought of it, but you might not totally love the work of decluttering your home or reorganizing all of your closets. In fact, for most of us, we want the finished outcome. We want to get to the goal at the end, but what we have a really hard time with is starting and then keeping our stamina going during the middle. Well, I think about that in terms of our spiritual walk and in terms of how we're stewarding emotionally our home environment. You know, in the Bible, we have two really crazy stories about how people kept their home that I'm thinking of right now. The first one is about Jesus when he goes to Zacchaeus' home. And Zacchaeus was a tax collector who was seeing Jesus as he was moving through the town. And Jesus says to him, "Zacchaeus, go home, make your house ready because today I'm going to come and visit you." The indication is that Zacchaeus is a man of importance, of influence, and Jesus wants to come spend time with him, but first he has to prepare his home for the visitation of Jesus to come. The second story I'm thinking about happens in Mark chapter 5 when Jesus is going to Jairus' house. And when he gets outside of Jairus' house and he's going to pray for Jairus' daughter who's sick and has passed away, there's all sorts of people outside of the home who are laughing or mourning that Jesus would even be there to try to raise her from the dead. And the first thing that Jesus says at that home is he says, "Go away from me. Nobody can come inside with me except for people who have faith." So in the story of Zacchaeus, we see that Zacchaeus is a person who didn't know Jesus, and Jesus didn't say, "Go home and send everybody away who doesn't believe in me." He simply said, "Go home and get your house ready for me to come." In the second story, Jairus says, "I need a miracle," and Jesus goes to the house, and then when he gets there, he realizes that the house is not in order and he has to order it right away. And I love these two stories because I actually think they give us some pictures to help us understand what it means for us to steward our house so that we keep growing and we keep moving forward in the things that God has called us to, so we don't stall out in the middle of a project that could help us get organized to take the steps moving forward. You see, Zacchaeus went home and we don't know what he did. We don't know how he organized his house and if he gutted everything and cleaned everything out. All we know is that he recognized the importance of Jesus coming. And that alone gave him indication enough that when he went home, perhaps the things he'd always been wanting to do that he hadn't done, perhaps the things that he was just kind of had ready for somebody important to come, he could actually execute and see it carried out into completion. Well, whatever Zacchaeus had to do, it didn't take him 5 months to get ready. He was ready that day for Jesus to come. Now, the question for you is, in your house, in your life, in your emotional state, are you ready right now? Are you expectant right now for a visitation of Jesus in your life? Or are there some things you need to kick out of your home? Are there some things you need to separate, you need to remove? You see, how you keep the environment of your home will determine the authority that Jesus gets to walk into your home in. The choice is yours. Zacchaeus didn't have that much work. That same day, Jesus came. Jairus was gone for 4 days, and in his absence, the house didn't get ready for a miracle. The house gathered in disbelief, in mourning, and in mockery. So the question for you is, if you want to see an unstoppable year, you want to see incredible miracles break through in your life, how are you stewarding your home? How are you getting your home ready? Are you ready for him to come, to change everything? Are you expecting the way Zacchaeus did? Or are you living in the expectation of disappointment, the way those who gathered at Jairus' house? Can he come in and be all that he needs to be in your life? Or will he have to come first and order your house? Both of them resulted in incredible things happening. Why? Because the nature of Jesus is consistent. When he shows up, miracles always happen. The choice of how those miracles mature and manifest is up to you and I.